There is a commercial that I have seen on TV at least 5 times in the last week. It's for a new cell phone provider, and it starts with 2 ancient-looking priests of some ancient religion standing on the edge of the volcano, and another victim is brought to them, and he's asking, "So what I do next?" So they explain to him that he jumps into the volcano, and then God will answer their prayers and the rain will come down, help them with their crops for the year. The question is posed, can we find another way? No, we have been doing this forever. Just go ahead, jump. The poor man jumps, and then there is a voice on the screen saying, "Until someone finds a better way." And the name of the cell phone company appears to you. Until someone finds a better way. I think Jesus did found a better way. Because until his time, people were convinced that we get sick, that disasters happen, that illness happens as punishment for our sins. Even until this day, we ask ourselves, what is God punishing us for? What have we done to deserve this pandemic? I bet it's homosexual marriage or something else. We look for reasons to explain all that evil that is happening. Who sinned? Ask the disciples of Jesus when they see a man who was blind from birth. The first thing that comes to their mind is, Jesus, who sinned? He or his parents, that he's suffering so pointlessly? Who sinned? If gospel wasn't written in PG-13 style, I bet Jesus' answer would be something like that. Are you out of your mind? You peep, 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 peep. What a stupid question is that? Who sinned? Is this what comes to your mind when you see someone in need, someone suffering, someone who is not right? The first thing that comes to you is, who sinned? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with religion that is focused solely on the sin? Unfortunately, it did not stop with the people sacrificing virgins into volcanoes so that the rain can come down from heaven. We have always looked for scapegoats for sinners that we can single out and blame for everything that is happening to us. Who sinned? And as much as I wish Jesus' answer would have been enough, the history of Christianity teaches us that it hasn't been enough. Because Christians, even after this beautiful passage from John's Gospel, still continue to this day looking for the sinners, for someone to blame. Notice it is never I or us, it's she, he, or they. It's always someone else that we want to blame. Me? No, I take no responsibility at all. It's they, it's he, it's she. We point out our finger and blame to a scapegoat. And usually it comes because of our sexism or racism or homophobia or classism or our colonial ways of thinking. We find the sinners in the other because it's easier, because it gives us a simple answer. Why is there this pandemic happening to us? Who is at fault? Who sinned? Who can we blame for what's happening? So, if our Christian faith, if our religion is not about sin, what is it about? John, in his gospel and his letters, makes it very clear. It's about love. That simple. That commercial says, until someone finds a better way. And there is a better way. Our first response to someone suffering shouldn't be who sinned, but should be love, empathy, and compassion. That is what religion is about. Not about finding a sinner somewhere outside of myself, but about loving someone outside of myself. God is love, will say the same St. John in his letter. And who loves God fulfills all the laws, all the rules, all the commandments. In the gospel today, when the poor ex-blind man is being interrogated, at one point he is losing his cool and says, "What, you too want to be his disciples? Do you want to be his disciple? If you do, it cannot be all about sin anymore. The focus of Christianity is not and cannot be about finding someone to blame. The focus of Christianity was loving the person next to us. It's about having empathy for the blind and the lame and the deaf and the lepers and the sinners in our midst. If you don't have love for the blind person, for the person who is next to you, for your neighbor, you can't call yourself a Christian. If you are a sin detective, looking for someone to blame, you can't call yourself a Christian. Do you too want to be his disciple? Yes, I too want to be his disciple. Amen.